Thank you, everybody. Before we proceed, I'd like to briefly turn over the meeting to one of 4 outstanding students who will be Ryans from Scottsdale.
Thank you.
The Board Trustees is a meeting.
Human Capital Management Officer Bobby Russell.
We have 4 recognitions for you until the recognitions are complete. Thank you. Did countless hours over the past few months to support the El Paso community, nearly 700 pairs of socks for the salvation of their time and energy to benefit those in need. Award winners, the Scottsdale Elementary School Student Council. Vice President Gabriel Moreno. The Student Council. Let's hear it again for the Scottsdale Elementary recognition honors 7 Ysleta ISD students who
That was nice. Now we shall proceed. Ms. Mathewson, do we have citizen input this evening?
Yes, President Ochoa, we have Jennifer DeGruff. The topic is emotional ties to academics.
Thank you.
Does my timer start? Is that the way that works? So awesome. First of all, I just want to say thank you. It seems to me like when we are attending a board meeting, our district leaders, an appreciation for our staff members, a lot of times we end up having to kind of get something down from turning into a bigger problem. The main reason I wanted to come here today is because as the principal of that high school, I will forever be in debt to him. He may not realize it, but when I was a paraprofessional, he drove me to become the teacher that I became. When I became a teacher, second year, became Teacher of the Year, it was the emotional side. And I want to thank you for being there for me. When I went on to become an assistant principal, I remember at the time, really? Is this as high as I'm going to go? Do you happen to be related to Judge Haggerty? And he was the reason that I was able to continue on. I was able to attend a conference in Taos not too long ago, and I had the opportunity to see Dr. De La Torre there. At the time, I remember telling him, can I please take a picture with you? You know, he didn't say, hey, well, what's your title? What's your role? He was like, sure, of course. And at that point in time, I was like, you know, one day I might just become a superintendent. At the end of the day, over academics, emotional always trumps. When I was thinking about it, too, with only 3 minutes to be able to talk about it, I've got 3 sons. If you're a parent in the room, we got to start with the emotional side. If they have a loss of learning, let's start with encouraging them, right? And so even when I stopped watching the news, I started following Ysleta because you guys are the reason that I became who I became today. Had zero to do with academics and everything to do with emotional support. And on that side, now when I think about the retired life, I mean, ultimately, I know I still look very young. I am getting older. But every day that I'm given the opportunity, I have that important goal of only saying thank you. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for making an impact for the kids here in the Ysleta area. At the end of the day, the reason I started stalking Ysleta is because it's the good news that keeps us motivated to continue. And for that, I thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We will now open the public hearing. Dr. De La Torre, will you lead us into the public hearing?
Yes, President Ochoa, members of the board, I'd like to invite our Chief Financial and Operational Officer to provide the report on School First.
Good evening, President Ochoa, members of the board, and Dr. De La Torre. This evening, your new comptroller will actually be presenting the Financial Integrity Rating System report to you. And his name is David Solis. Sorry
Welcome.
about that.
Thank you. Good evening, President Ochoa, members of the board, and Superintendent Dr. De La Torre. As was just mentioned, every year we provide a summary of this report. It is formerly known as the Financial Integrity Rating System of Texas. However, we often refer to it as the first report. It also requires a public hearing, which we are holding this evening. I am proud to report that once again, since the inception of the rating system in 2004, Ysleta ISD has received the highest rating of superior achievement. It requires at least 90 of 100 points to be earned by the district. It is important to point out that the district must pass the first 5 indicators, also referred to as critical. This year, the district earned 90 out of 100 points, compared with 92 out of 100 in the past. The district received 8 of 10 points for indicator 7, found on slide 14 of the presentation. You may recall that the district experienced a decline in enrollment of approximately 2,000 students from the previous year. Superintendent, any outside compensation received by the superintendent for professional consulting, as well as gifts that might have been received by executive officers and board members, along with business transactions between the district and board members. A link has been provided for each of those disclosures. This presentation is included in the published agenda, and the entire presentation will be available on the financial transparency page as of tomorrow. We don't usually go through the individual.
Any questions? We have to ask him a question. This is his first time up here. Can I make a comment? Sure.
Ms. Leeper and Mr. Solis, first off, congratulations again. It's only through strong leadership. And for, I guess, for the general public that's here tonight and those that don't deal with Ms. Leeper and Mr. Solis, we get told no a lot, and which is a good thing. And if it doesn't serve our students in the best way, it may not be the right thing right now. And so by having those hard discussions sometimes, educating our students and taking care of our staff and taking care of our teachers and principals. So thank you very much. Congratulations.
Well said. Anybody else? No? No? Thank you, Mr. Solis.
I believe we have to wait a certain period of time to see whether or not anyone wants to address the board as part of the public input.
Sir, we don't have anybody signed up to speak for public hearing.
Okay.
Okay, Ms. Mathewson. Thank you. We will now close the public hearing and continue with our board workshop. We have a quarterly update on the metrics for Care Solace.
Yes, sir. Will Tyler, is he present or will he be delivering via Zoom?
He's going to be via Zoom.
Okay. Tyler, can you hear us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. The floor is yours.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to Zoom in tonight. It's great to see you all, and really excited to provide this update for you. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and pull up your presentation, and we'll get started. All right. Here is your quarterly update as of today, December 14th, 2022. Here's the utilization so far this school year. So we're taking a look at the key performance indicators so far for this school year. We have seen 239 warm handoffs from your staff. We've seen 83 family-initiated cases, people reaching out to us directly for help, anonymously and confidentially. That totals to 322 cases, and we've had 140 confirmed appointments already since July 1. On top of that, we've had 145 anonymous searches as a direct result of the messaging and marketing that the district is sending out, for people reaching out to get connected to resources on their own. There have been over 13,000 communications that we have made and received on behalf of the district so far this school year. Comparing that to the launch in March, at the beginning of the year, when there was a huge press release and push for utilization in April, we had 236 total cases with 113 confirmed appointments in the second half of last school year. Here is your current breakdown of demographics and the reasons why people are reaching out for help. So you see pretty good mix here on the demographics. What stands out to me is all age groups are using the service, which is really great to see. Reasons why people are reaching out for help: anxiety, depression are the number 1 and 2 reasons. That's typically always the case, but then we see trauma following that, disruptive behavior, which is more common in the younger kiddos. And then we see marital, which can include couples counseling or family counseling, and suicidal ideation following that. Then we see some utilization for bipolar disorder and a little bit of utilization on the substance use side, but not much. These are the top 10 insurances that people are reporting in the pre-screening questionnaire, the cases that have been opened so far through Ysleta. And this is the insurance information in the state of Texas, just so you can compare the two. A lot of Blue Cross, Blue Shield across the state of Texas, but we see that as the 6th highest insurance that we're showing on your report. So that is something that stands out as a discrepancy there, but a good amount of that in the area. Top 10 providers from the confirmed appointments that we have seen in your community. A lot of local private practices, programs, and clinics stepping up to support your families, which is fantastic to see. We've been establishing strong relationships with the community providers, and these are just a few of them that have been able to provide support for your families. All right, here are some of my key takeaways and updates so far for this school year. Your fantastic school counseling department has helped to set up refresh presentations for the following groups. We've met with counselors, nurses, CIS coordinators, psychologists, athletic coordinators. Utilization definitely picked up where it left off after the summer break and has remained consistent. The district has continuously sent out messaging, which has resulted in consistent anonymous searches and family-initiated cases. People are getting put in contact with us through the referrals, through the work handouts, but also on their own. What was very interesting to me is that there's been equal success with in-person services and telehealth services. So we've actually some of the quotes that we've gotten from those reviews. One person said, "I like that families can get personalized recommendations and referrals based on individual need." Another person said, "It is easy and effective. Your agency provided excellent services to people who need the assistance." Now, on the parent side, we still have not gotten a ton of feedback. We've only had 8 responses on these surveys that have been sent out, but all of them have been promoters, meaning that they've given us a 9 or 10 out of 10. So we have a perfect NPS of 100. But some of those parent testimonials, which are really powerful, I love this one. They said, "It was great that all the work was done for me. I also appreciated that they checked up to see that I was able to schedule an appointment and to make sure that we were happy with our chosen care provider." Another family said, "It is easy and fast when you need support the most. Thank you." All right, and lastly, I would just like to share that with the break coming up, we have put together customized messaging for the district. These are some of the fun graphics that we have available in the Resource Center of the CareLink dashboard that you're able to include in newsletters, emails, flyers going out to families, press releases, etc. And we also have templates like this one here that again are customized to Ysleta. So it's on behalf of the district. It has your proprietary links in there for CareMatch for those anonymous searches are completed. You can plug in your own information and edit these as you see fit as well. And the district has already done a fantastic job of taking advantage of these marketing resources, but I just wanted to highlight that with the break coming up because we will be available to support your families over winter break. And that's everything I wanted to share with you all tonight. And I'll go ahead and pause there if there are any questions or comments.
I just had a comment. I was curious about the amount of feedback we've received so far. And I guess my question is to Ms. Russell. I know that we just did the evaluations on the central office staff from staff and, on that feedback we get. I think that we probably need to have a lot more of a sample to take a look at that. Can we not include Care Solace in any of those evaluations, especially the ones that come from the families within the district?
Yes, sir. Are you referencing a survey maybe to
Yes,
go
ma'am,
out
the
to our
survey,
staff?
yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. I'm sure we can come up with something that we send out to all staff. Our initial survey already went out for this year, but we can certainly do a subsequent one
When
in
does the family
spring.
survey go out?
I'm sorry, sir?
When does the family survey go out?
In March.
In March? I mean, I don't think you need to do something extra. I just think, perhaps we can include it in the future surveys.
Okay, absolutely.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
sir.
I do have, can you go back to the, I think it was your second slide or your third slide where you showed the month of December?
Yes, sir. Let me pull that up. There we go.
Okay, so I know we're very early in December, but in your experience with other entities, what do you, I mean, we're only, what, the middle of December. Do you expect a higher number here for December?
Yeah, so this is as of today.
Yeah.
And it's on pace with what we've seen in the last 2 months, halfway through December. Typically, utilization does drop a little bit over the breaks because we're not seeing the warm handoffs. But we may see an increase in the family initiated cases or the anonymous searches when there is messaging and marketing that is sent out. So most likely we will see a dip in form handoffs because those come directly from the staff. And if they're not going to be in the office, they're not able to initiate those. But we should see people reaching out to us directly via the CareMatch link or phone, email, text message, etc.
And when they make inquiries, can they go directly to the support that they need, even though there's nobody here at the central office?
Yes, so if they reach out to us, we'll be available 24/7, and we can connect them to outside services, outside of the school-based support.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much. That's all I have. Anybody else? If not, thank you for coming online and giving us the quarterly report. And have a good holidays and enjoy your time with your family.
much. Thanks for having me. Happy holidays, everyone. Take care.
The next presentation is on our Emergent Bilinguals program. I believe Ms. Ana Esqueda, our Director of Academic Language Programs, is here with us. Welcome.
President, members of the board, Superintendent Dr. De La Torre. Today I will be reviewing the 2021-22 Ysleta Bilingual Education and English as a Second Language Program evaluation. We will begin with the 2022 STAR EOC Emerging Bilingual Subgroup by level. We have the approaches, meets, and masters. We are comparing 2021 to 2022, but keep in mind, please, that for 2021, this is our COVID data, which in reality doesn't really compare to 21-22, but we have here for approaches for our grades 3 to 8 and our English 1 to English 2, Algebra 1, Biology, and U.S. History. I skipped a slide, let me go back. Next, we have our meets, which is also for our grades 3 to 8 and 9 to 12. Also comparison 2021 to 2022. And last, we have our master's grade level. Our scorecard, overall, for our first target, we have the increase in the percent of our emerging bilingual students rated meets grade level in English language arts. And for STAR EOC exams, we had a current score of 31%, which we have an increase of 11.1. For our second target, for our percent of EL students making progress toward English proficiency as measured by TELPAS, our current score is 44%, with an increase of 15.5. We are back to our pre-pandemic scores. The spring of 2022 TELPAS administration, 20% of our students in bilingual education or ESL programs were rated as advanced high in TELPAS composite scores. And in the spring 2022 TELPAS administration, 44% of our emerging bilingual students in our programs progressed at least one proficiency level or maintained an advanced high rating in TELPAS composite ratings compared to our spring 2021 TELPAS administration. Emerging bilingual students that met reclassification for the 21-22 school year, we had a total of 270 students from grades 1st to 12th grade, which is with a difference of 192 in 2021. That means we had 82 more students this school year. Teacher certification requirements for 21-22. We had Ysleta apply for a bilingual exception on behalf of 72 teachers, of which by this year, November 1st, we had 3 of the 72 teachers that had the appropriate certification test and applied for their bilingual ESL certificate. For the 21-22 ESL waiver application, we submitted a waiver on behalf of 24 teachers, of which 1 teacher passed the appropriate certification test and applied for the ESL certificate. This year for 22-23, we have a total of 30 teachers that we applied for a bilingual exception and a total of 46 teachers that we applied for the application for the ESL waiver. Our professional development for 21-22 school year included literacy instructional routines across the content areas, foundational reading skills, reading comprehension, academic vocabulary development, and sheltered instruction. On the right side table, you can see the PD that we offered for teachers that were pursuing their certification, both for the ESL and the bilingual education. For our emerging bilingual student progress and performance, at the beginning of the year, all our LPAC committees send a student progress report to our parents, and the principal of each campus and campus committee review and revise the campus action plan. They include the improvement of student performance for our students, for emerging bilingual students. This ends my presentation. I'd like to know if there's any questions.
Any questions? Any comments? Well, I think this program is very important, especially for our students that are acquiring a proficiency in English. I strongly support it, as well as I'm sure the other board members. It's like earlier today, we were at a graduation. It's a game changer. And I just want to commend everybody for the excellent work that they're doing to help our students. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I have a question, if I may.
Yes, sir.
On, you put quite a few screens, but there's one where we go from 3040 to 2. You're going kind of fast, so I didn't note it down. Could you go back? Just a clarification.
Go back
No,
to
reverse.
your slide on approaches,
Further back.
and then when you move to
There you are,
needs-
that one.
This one?
No, there you go.
Oh, the
yeah.
reclassification?
Yeah, okay. And again, this is a question I have in my mind. We're running 15, 16, then all of a sudden it goes to 2. Is there a reason, especially in the 10th grade? Is there a tendency or?
For 10th grade going down to 2?
Yeah.
The 10th grade reclassification exit criteria requires the students to be at grade level in 10th grade and take the English 2 with no designated supports. They need a TELPAS score of advanced high in the 4 domains, and their English 2 has to be a passing score with no designated supports.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No further questions? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
All right. Here comes the encore. Come on up, Champagne.
Good evening, President Ochoa, all board members, Dr. De La Torre. This is Champagne coming here to do my 20.75 years old last report. Okay, next, please. Next page, please. Oh, I do it. Sorry. Thank you. I can do it. On the PowerPoint that you have, we have the timeline. Among these, we have 24 active projects since the last report. During this month, we have 9 audit projects in progress, meaning planning, audit, testing underway, or draft report, reviewing the CAP. 3 audit report issued with no corrective action plan required, means they have no exceptions. 12 audit projects completed and 3 audit projects in conducting follow-up audits. So these are the 24 active projects during these 3 weeks. And we have 1 highlight cases, and thanks to Mr. Leeper, was very timely resolved. On these projects, as you can see, we have these projects we issued without any recommendation needed to fix. These are the follow-up audits we carry out, Hanks High School and elementary school cash management follow-up audits. And the highlight cases, and thanks to, like I said, Ms. Leeper and her team gave us a very quick address on that. And they will continue to monitor and make the improvements. In summary, for this month, we have 8 department projects going on, and we have 1 new exit audit will be forwarded to 2023, and on these follow-up from 2021, 1 carry forward. With 2021 carry forward, we have completed 19, and hopefully before, and no, that one is a security. We will do it in January or February. In overall summary, for calendar year 2022, during our audit plan, that we carry out 106 out of 119 projects. Within there, we had planned it in the audit plan where we presented to you There were 87 out of 98 audit projects we carried out. June 2022, we added 21 new audit projects, and we had completed 19 of them. 18 hotline projects we have completed, and 14 audit projects will be carried forward to 2023, as usual, with your support. And please do continue give my next successors support. When I took this job 20.75 years ago, we were under TEA monitor. I remember when I took the job, many people came here from UTEP, from community college, from other school districts say I was crazy that took this job. But I'm very grateful with so many generations of the board members. And my first year, I remember, I think first 6 months, I had 3 superintendents. 6. But since then, we have been very stable, and I really, really appreciate. I have my team here, my Rod Chavez, Rebecca Garcia, Amy Sanchez, our department overall support, technically, administratively, fire manager, whatever you name it, jack of all, Norma Miners. I could not accomplish this much this year without this great team support. And I plead you all continue to give internal audit support. Without your support, we really, really wouldn't be able to provide the services as we would like to provide. And also, I would like to thank all the administrations. Everybody's really nice to give us the support. I know nobody likes to be audited, and we try to be very fair and neutral to carry out the assessment. We do ask everybody to educate us as much as they could, and we do learn as much as we could. In the audit report that I provided to you, our self-assessment audit report, you can see the professional trainings myself and all my team members attended, and different category of audit projects we carry out, the status of the accomplishments that we have. And I could not say enough to thank you all, administration, upper management, middle management, all the principals, directors, and all the teachers. Couldn't say more, and I really, really feel very honored and lucky to be able to serve everybody all these years. Thank you. Time for questions.
Of course. This being your last presentation, I can't let you go without asking questions.
You have to submit another form.
Can you go back to this previous slide, last slide? You carried out 106 of your 119 projects.
Yes.
That is very good percentage, very good. You also performed 87 out of 98 audit projects. Again, that's very good, very good. And of course, then you took on some added ones, and you had 19 out of 21 projects. This kind of performance is what you've been conducting throughout your career here at Ysleta. I've only known you for the last 6 years, and I'm very impressed with what you have accomplished in your department.
Thank you.
You have never been one to not listen or take into consideration whatever we are here have asked of you. You've always tried to accommodate us, and we appreciate that. But we also appreciate your dedication to Ysleta Independent School District and the work that your department and everybody else has done. Without you, as you noticed in other districts, not here in El Paso, but others, they do have a problem. So the audit department is very important and critical for Ysleta to function and be transparent for our community. So again, we thank you a lot, and we wish you well, and whatever it is that you will be doing here in the coming years, but you leave a good legacy for whoever's going to take over your position.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Yes.
Mr.
Yeah, we're good.
Ochoa.
Go start over there.
You finished?
I'm finished.
I just want to make a few comments. Champagne, I want to thank you for all the work, your dedication to the 8 years, nearly 8 years that I've been around. One of the things that I feel an organization, you made a comment, you came on here with 3 superintendents, and you had to work through that. Well, let me just say, from my estimation and the way that I think and the way that I see things, any strong organization that is willing to have a revision of their activities is a sound organization. One that does not or fights or confronts this kind of process is you're leaving yourself open to many other things. And this is a testimony to yourself and the people that are in our district. Because I'm one of the few people that, I used to have audits years ago, and I didn't see an audit as something bad. If I'm doing something wrong, come and tell me. Maybe I'm not seeing what you're seeing. And so I think that's been the attitude that's been taken by the people that you served. And I thank you and your dedication, your professionalism.
Thank you.
Tremendous.
Thank you.
We thank you so much for all that you've accomplished.
Thank you.
Now, finish.
Ms. Woodruff?
Yes. So I can remember when I came on the board many years ago now, and at that time in El Paso, we had just gone through some, not Ysleta, but other school districts had gone through some pretty scary auditing findings that had put other school districts at risk. And I have to say that knowing that you were in charge and that you were running the audits and that you were looking out for Ysleta gave me such peace and such confidence to know that we were doing what was right in Ysleta. And I just want to say thank you for that. I also want to say thank you. I know, just like they said before, you're the kind of, the job that you guys have to do, people have a tendency to want to run and hide under something instead of meeting it head on. And in spite of that, I believe you've always acted professionally and you've always done a very, very good job. I just want to say thank you for all the confidence you've given me in our district. Thank you very much, Champagne, and I hope that you have so many blessings in your retirement.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Bustillos?
My turn. First of all, thank you, Champagne, for putting up with Cruz over here. That was tough.
Thank you.
No, thank you for teaching me. You always found a way to have a teaching moment with me, going over all the stuff that we go through, and it's a lot. And I appreciate that. You always have the patience and the time, and we would sit down and talk a little bit about some stuff, and thank you for giving me that. And I just want to say thank you for your service, thank you for your time, and I wish nothing but the best in your next endeavor. So, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ramirez?
Well, everybody's already said all the good things, so thank you first, and for all your hard work and your dedication. And I think the thing that I'd just like everybody to know is that thank you for sitting with me for hours at a time as we discuss and solve the world's problems. And I'm going to miss that part of you, and you not being here and having those discussions. So I wish you the very best, and I wish you Godspeed on the next part of your journey.
Thank you.
Mr. Haggerty?
I definitely wish you congratulations, and I know for a fact I'm going to miss you. When I first came on the board, you were the one I knew I could come to for the truth, I guess, because there's always the administration's truth, the school's truth, and then what actually happens. And when I came to you, it was always facts. It was always, you always allowed me to make my own decisions, but at the same time, you were there to mentor me. And I can't thank you enough. I think you helped shape and mold who I became as it relates to being a trustee and as it relates to being a better person. You're going to have some big shoes to fill. I don't know how your successor is going to do it when the other school districts were running into a lot of issues to the point where they had to go get external auditors, and there was a lot of pressure for every school district to go out and get an audit. And we were able to turn to you and ask, is this something you can do? And of course, you stepped up and said, I can do it. Not one person from the public questioned your ability to deliver that in a honest and forthright way. And I think that speaks volumes to your character. And that's something that's definitely going to be missed here. But thank you so much for your 20.75 years of service. And I hope you have a fantastic retirement or whatever else it is that you choose to do. I know my phone's already ringing off the hook. People are asking if for your phone number so they can call you and try to solicit you to go work for them. But again, I can't thank you enough. Hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Oh, thank you very much. I already last minute to sign the separation, so I need the super to sign off on that tomorrow. Thank you. And then all the process that we have to do, my staff were very good, helped me out to clear everything. So again, thank you very much. And I couldn't say more to thank my team. They really are wonderful team members and give everybody the support. And their professionalism is not less than what I have. So I'm very proud of them. They're so young and be able to carry out so good job. So,
Well, thank you so much. Before you leave, as you can see, we all appreciate all the work you have accomplished over the years. But we have something, a token appreciation for tonight.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Can I have my team to receive it with me?
Sure.
They're so good.
You guys want to take a picture with her?
Yes.
You know where to find us. You know where to find us.
Sure. Can I have my team join us?
Yes, come on, team. Come on, team.
thank you, everybody, media people, everybody. Thank you, thank you. Good night. My flight is 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Bye.
Bye. She's not happy.
Boy, is she happy.
Okay, we shall proceed with the order of the agenda. With the consent items, let's see. We'll now discuss the agenda items as listed in the posted notice of the regular meeting of Ysleta ISD Board of Trustees for December 14, 2022, and related recommended motions with the superintendent and executive cabinet, and receive responses to questions and/or requests for additional information through the superintendent in preparation for deliberation and action on said items at the December 14, 2022 regular Board of Trustees meeting. Consent item number 1. It's the Board of Trustees workshop, regular board meeting, November 16, 2022, 6 p.m. Consent item number 2, monthly financial updates as of October 2022. And of course, please stop me if you have any questions or wish to pull any item. Consent item number 3, 2023-2024 instructional calendar.
I have a question on that one.
Yes, sir.
Is there any consideration to moving back to,
Can you turn on your, it's on?
is there any consideration moving back to the traditional calendar now that COVID is over?
Mr. Haggerty, good evening. We actually surveyed our teachers through the DIC and our PAC members. 85% of our teachers prefer the year-round calendar, and 75% of our parents liked the the year-round calendar. In addition, it has provided us what we think is the academic gains that have allowed us to be the A rating. We have been able to close gaps. There is still gaps to close, especially as the kids are coming up, and we need to close our gaps. So the year-round calendar has been beneficial to us.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was my first question. You answered that one. The second question is, are we exceeding the required, the mandated number of minutes, I guess, that we're supposed to have on the state?
Yes, sir. We exceed those minutes. The 75,600 minutes, we exceed them in all 3 grade levels.
Okay, thank you. Oh, but I did want to have another question. I'm sorry. Are all the, you see the other districts' calendars, are they all look pretty much the same?
I think for the first district to approve our calendar, I would let Dr. Torre know if at the RAC they discussed the calendar, but I believe we all will continue with year-round.
I've not heard from either of the neighboring districts, the large neighboring districts, that they plan to retreat from the year-round calendar. As you know, in Socorro, it's always been their calendar. I believe Mrs. Diana Saavedra is doing a survey now in the El Paso Independent School District. So there is some conversation out there about if and when there is a time where we should consider going back.
Okay, thank you.
Further questions? Not?
Can we pull that one? Can we pull it for a separate vote?
I-
Can we pull that one for a separate vote?
Can we pull it for a separate vote?
Yeah, we can pull it for a separate vote. Consent item number 3. Pull it for a separate vote. For a vote. Proceeding, consent item number 4, resolution to amend authorized district representatives with text tool. Consent item number 5, approve amendment to ISD contract number 202-30028 with AMEC Foster Wheeler Environment and Infrastructure, DBA Wood Environment and Infrastructure.
Mr. President?
Yes.
I do have a question on this
Okay.
one. I'm a little confused about what they're talking about as far as additional materials for testing. Yeah.
So it's not to buy materials for testing purposes, it's to test the materials on the site.
Okay.
So it's, because we're moving now into the baseball field and reconstruction of it, they will need to do more materials testing at that site. And so this is an additional allowance to do that.
So it's testing materials.
So we look at, there's density testing of the soil, there's weld testing of the particular welds that are made, there's all sorts of testing like that, and this group helps us with the materials testing, the densities, the soils, concrete pours, things like that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good question. Good answer. Consent item number 6, amendment to YSD contract number 202-30037 with PSRBB Architects Incorporated. Okay. Policy items. Number 1, revision to policy EHDB local, alternative methods for earning credit, credit by examination with prior instruction. Going on to action items, donation to Parkland Middle School. Number 2, approve award of phase number 5, solicitation number 222003, RFP BP-1907, Riverside High School, CTE additions and renovations. Action item number 3, approve award of YSD solicitation number BP-1909C, Glen Cove Elementary School remodel. Okay. So the order of the agenda has been approved. We do have one consent item that has been pulled. I think it's number 3. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yep. All right. So may I have an electronic motion on the remaining consent agenda items listed on the agenda as recommended by the administration?
Mr. President, I move to approve the remaining consent agenda items listed on this agenda as recommended by the administration.
All votes have been cast. Results are in. 6 in favor. None opposed. All right. We do have one consent item that has been asked to be voted on. Consent item number 3, and that is 2023-2024 instructional calendar. Do I have a motion?
I make motion to approve the proposed 2023-24 calendar.
Go
Mo-
ahead. You need to go ahead and pressure.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Motion has been made, Mr. Ramirez. Mr. Rosales has second.
Excuse me. Did I hear you say as presented or not? Did I hear it? No, just,
Proposed, I said as proposed.
okay, as proposed, thank you.
Yeah, it's worded as its motion is to, as it's worded in the consent item number 3.
Thank you.
Yes.
Would you just like me to say it? Would you like me to say it again, just so that we have it clear?
No, that's fine.
Okay. All votes have been cast. Votes are 5 in favor, 1 opposed. Moving on. Okay, policy item number 1, revision of policy EHDB, local alternative methods for earning credit, credit by examination with prior instruction. Is there any discussion? No further discussion. May I have an electronic motion? Mr. Bustillos.
Mr. President, I move to approve the Ysleta ISD specific language on authority to offer the students the opportunity to earn credit by examination with prior instruction as presented in the board backup.
We have a second by Ms. Woodruff. Please cast your electronic votes. Results are in, 6 in favor, none opposed. Action item number 1, donation to Parkland Middle School. Is there any discussion? Mr. Haggerty.
Mr. President, I'd like to thank the Kellogg's Foundation. I know that they've been giving money since the 30s, and they've been making sure that people are fed worldwide. I think in the past 10 years, they fed 3 billion people. They've given over $1 million towards advancing racial equity just in the last year. And now they're giving $5,000 towards athletic equipment here at Parkland Middle School. But along with them, I believe also Miss Michelle Larson also needs our thanks from the Albertsons Foundation for their help in making this happen. And of course, it wouldn't happen at all without Mr. De La Pena. I know that Alex he tirelessly pursues new initiatives and finds ways to not just create opportunities, but get those opportunities funded for the students in our community. Alex, I just want to give you a very heartfelt thank you.
Thank you. Any further comment? If not, may I have a motion?
Mr. President, I move to accept a donation valued at over $5,000 to benefit Parkland Middle School from the Kellogg's Company.
Okay, thank you. We have a second by Mr. Sotero Ramirez. Please cast your electronic votes. Votes are in, 6 in favor, none opposed. Thank you. Action item number 2, approve of Phase 5 solicitation number 222003 RFP, BP-1907 Riverside High School CTE additions and renovations. Is there any discussion? No further discussion. May I have a motion? Mr. Bustillos.
President Ochoa, I move to approve award of phase number 5 solicitation number 222003 RFP BP 1907 Riverside High School CTE addition and renovations for $6,511,967,000 to Buford Thompson Company LLC towards a guaranteed maximum price, with the remaining package totaling the guaranteed maximum price. An estimated cost of construction presented at the subsequent board meeting contingent upon final negotiations, in-house counsel review, and the form of 1295 certificate of interested parties.
Thank you, Mr. Bustillos. So we have a second by Mr. Ramirez. Please cast your electronic votes. All votes have been cast. Results are 6 in favor, none opposed. Action item number 3. Approve award of YSD solicitation number BP 1909C, Glen Cove Elementary School remodel. Do I have any, is there any discussion? If no further discussion, may I have a motion? Mr. Rosales.
Chairman, I move to approve award of YSD solicitation number BP 1909C, Glen Cove Elementary School remodel with LDCM Solutions LLC for the amount of $10,542,196. Base bid plus up to $400,000 allowance for additional restroom upgrades and ADA compliance, plus $300,000 owner control contingency contingent upon final negotiations, in-house council review, and Form 112 or 1295 certificate of interested parties.
Thank you. Please cast your electronic votes. All votes have been cast. We have 6 in favor, none opposed. I think that takes care of most business, but before we adjourn, I want to just take this moment to wish everybody happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Enjoy your time with your family and loved ones, and stay safe. No other comment?
Is that Miss Haney over there? I can't see.
She's hiding.
She's hiding, and that's appropriate, and wearing a mask is appropriate, but we'd like to say thank you as well. She's likes to go pursue another career as well, too. And we're going to miss you, and thank you for your leadership and service to the district all these many years. We really couldn't have done it without you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else have anything to add?
Just want to add a comment that I expected nothing less from a matador.
Okay. Well, we have no other comments. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Adjourn. Thank you.